Carlos Ulberg is going to be the replacement for Khalil Rountree opposite Jamahal Hill at UFC 303. In case you haven't heard the news, if you don't know, now you know. But the thing is, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be an absolute nightmare for Jamahal Hill. This is going to be 2 losses in a row, I'm afraid. I'm afraid that Carlos Ulberg is going to put sweet dreams to sleep. So that is what we are going to be talking about in this video. But before I get into it, if you don't mind, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. It helps with the YouTube algorithm, helps grow the channel. So a little bit of background. The whole reason this is happening, in case you didn't know, Khalil Rountree basically took a substance inside a supplement that he was taking. This is the story he tells us. That is banned. And he admitted to the Athletic Commission that he took it. And they basically gave him a more lenient punishment, which is he is suspended for 2 months. As opposed to, I think, typically for failing a drug test, it's 6. But he came forward, did the sort of upstanding guy thing. But unfortunately, that caused the bout to be canceled between Khalil Rountree and Jamahal Hill, which in my opinion was much more winnable for Jamahal Hill than Carlos Ulberg. So what's going to happen now is Carlos Ulberg is coming up, and he has a very similar, dangerous, powerful style to that of Alex Periera. And we saw Jamahal Hill basically get knocked out inside a few minutes of the first round at UFC 300, which was not that long ago. And my question is, and my thinking is, Carlos Ulberg is basically going to handle Jamahal Hill in the exact same way. He has the power. He has that kickboxing style. Once again, I just don't know if there's anywhere where Jamahal Hill can take this fight where he has a substantial advantage to Carlos Ulberg. The guy is a beast. The guy has dynamite in his hands. The guy hits so hard. I think he's finished, I don't know how many of his opponents he's finished. I'd have to look it up. But he has finished a ton of them. And unfortunately, I just think even Jamahal Hill at his best would have a tough time with that style, right? Because I think it's going to be a lot similar to Alex Periera's. But now he's at an even bigger disadvantage, Jamahal Hill, because of the fact that he was KO'd like a month and a half ago, right? A month and a half ago at this point. By the time he's fighting, it'll probably be, 2.5 months. But still, that ain't a lot of time, right? A lot of people saying that you need at least 6 months to mentally recover and physically recover from a knockout like that. Again, I don't know. I'm no doctor, right? But that's what a lot of people say. So, and I just think what's going to happen is we're going to see Carlos Ulberg come in there and do what he's done to his last few opponents and get another quick knockout. But the exciting part of that is, if he does, then he's going to be getting an immediate title shot against Alex Periera, and their two styles are going to be really exciting, and I think similar. It'll be a similar type of fight to what we saw, Periera versus Izzy. So, it's really exciting. It's unfortunate, right? Because I feel like Khalil Rountree versus Jamahal Hill was a much more winnable fight for Jamahal Hill. I think it would have been a much better, less pressure, easy. I don't want to say easy, right? Because Khalil Rountree's tough. He's got knockout power, but I just feel like he's not quite as slick. You know what I mean? Not quite as technical. Not quite as. I don't even know the word I'm looking for here. Not quite as finessed compared to some of the other guys in the division, right? He a little bit more brawly, really. That's what I get from Khalil Rountree when you compare that to someone like Carlos Ulberg, who looks super technical, really polished in terms of his striking, strikes with a level of finesse. And, when Jamahal Hill faces this, I just don't think he's going to be able to withstand it. And because of that fact, we might not see Jamahal Hill near the top anytime soon. But the funny thing here is that what do you do, right? What do you do after this? Because if Carlos Ulberg wins, which I think he will, he's probably going to do it relatively quickly, and he's probably going to be a better choice for the UFC to put in for a title shot, right? Like, they're probably going to do that immediately against Alex Periera. Which is, it kind of sucks because Magomed Ankalaev is kind of the only one right now who has a legitimate claim for a title shot. But Dana White, as we've spoken about before on this channel, Dana White hates that guy, and he's boring, right? Like, he got his shot in like December of 2022, if I'm not mistaken, and he fought to a draw, and with Jan Blachowicz, and so if it can be a situation where Carlos Ulberg comes in, like I said, knocks out Jamahal Hill in relative ease, and then goes on, he's getting the immediate title shot. I guarantee you they do that before Magomed Ankalaev. Unfortunately, in this whole thing, we kind of missed out on what could have been like a people's championship, right? They were talking to Yuri to see if he would be ready and willing to fight Jamahal Hill on short notice, right? And I'm kind of upset that we didn't get that fight, just because I feel like it would be a lot closer. There would be a lot more action-packed. I feel like we would see a war, whereas with Carlos Ulberg, it's going to be a lot more technical. And, I just feel like it's gonna be a quick night. Another quick night out for kickboxing for the strikers. And then as soon as that's done, Ulberg's getting a title shot. Then you're probably putting Yuri against Ankalaev. Really. Like, that's the way I see this playing out. And then Jamahal Hill, maybe he'll get another, he and Khalil Rountree will fight again in a couple months. But if he gets KO'd twice in like a 3-month period, I hope he takes like a year off. Which he already just took a year off from injuries, right? So it's tough. Like, I don't know where Jamahal Hill goes from here. I mean, nothing's for sure, right? Maybe he could win. But again, I just don't know where he takes that fight. Where he tries to take that fight to come out on top, right? How's Ulberg's wrestling? How's his grappling? I have no idea, right? Because I feel like grappling and wrestling is probably the only way that Jamahal Hill comes out on top here. Striking, I don't see it. Anyway, that's my take on this entire situation. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Who comes out on top here? And if you don't mind, hitting the like button, hitting the subscribe button, it helps with the YouTube algorithm and it helps grow the channel. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time.